Hi, I'm Cameron Meredith with ADU West Coast. Been getting a lot of requests lately on specifically talking about multifamily ADUs. So I wanted to put a brief presentation together to kind of go over some of the main topics with doing ADUs and multifamily. And right now we're actually doing four multifamily projects as we speak. Couple of them are actually garage conversions, and there's a couple examples here in the slide. And then the other two are actually freestanding ADUs we're building from scratch. So again, we'll cover some of this stuff during the slides, but pretty much this presentation is just to cover some of the main rules with multifamily. So that being said, let's get started. And we'll move on to the next slide here. Some of the 2020 state law changes, again, more specific to multifamily. Number one, there's no minimum lot size requirement. There's no floor area ratio requirement. Multiple ADUs can be built on multifamily properties. We'll cover how you can build those later down the road. Limited parking requirements, which is another thing we'll cover. Cities cannot override major state law changes, which is huge. You can build up to 800 square feet each for freestanding. Some cities actually allow 1,200, for example, Long Beach. And then it's possibility to stack. So the rules with multifamily, they're going to let you build two freestanding ADUs possibly. Some cities will let you stack one on top of the other. Again, always check with your local city because there are rules that vary between city on that. And then below here is the other method is you can build up to 25% of the existing unit count can be built out of non-livable space. So for example, if you have 4 units, you can build one ADU out of a garage, storage, or et cetera, some sort of space like that. If you were to have 8 units, you can convert 2 ADUs out of that space. So again, 25% of the existing count, which is huge. Imagine if you had, 100 unit building and you had a bunch of extra garage space that you can convert. You can potentially do up to 25 units out of non-livable space. Again, if the property would allow, but there's a huge opportunity for that with multifamily. Here I took this directly out of the Long Beach multifamily ADU guide, right out of their website. So I wanted to paste this because this is pretty much what most cities have as far as guidelines for building ADUs. So I went to their website and looked up the ADU guidelines. Right here, you can see ADU projects permitted at an MFD and maximum unit sizes and numbers. So ADU projects permitted for multifamily dwelling. Right here, if you convert existing detached accessory building to an ADU, including a garage, remember no addition, detached only, they're going to let you do up to 1,200 square feet. Again, this is Long Beach. Certain cities limit to 800, so just check with your city. And the maximum number of ADUs, they're going to let you do 2 out of this way, okay? Second method, you can build new detached ADU. Again, you're limited on 1,200 square feet. We'll go through some of the setbacks on the next slide, and they're going to let you build up to 2 this way, okay? Third way is build in addition to the existing detached accessory building to create an ADU, detached only. Again, 1,200 limited to 2. And then 4, I think this is the biggest opportunity if your property is set up right, but convert existing attached non-livable space to ADU, including storage rooms, boiler rooms, passageways, attics, basements, manager's office, and attached garages, and other non-livable space that is not used for residential amenities. So laundry rooms, community rooms, gyms, other amenity space that cannot be converted. So this, they're going to limit you at 1,200 square feet max, which is pretty good size. And then the maximum number of ADUs, you're going to either do 1 or 25% of the permitted number of primary units. So again, I talked about the 25% rule. If you have 8 units, they're going to allow you to build 2 ADUs out of this space. Okay. Some things to note here. I think this top one is pretty important. State law mandates the city to permit construction of up to 2 detached ADUs or the conversion of not existing non-livable area within the MFD to ADUs, but not both. Applicant must choose between an attached conversion or detached new build addition conversion project. So again, varies between cities. Some cities I've heard will let you do the 25% rule and build 2 new ADUs, but the city of Long Beach is saying you can do either or, you can't do both. And then I think another really important part is D, only permitted in R3 and R4 zones, mixed use commercial zones, and mixed use PDs and SPs. For MFDs and R1 and R2 zones, conversion of existing detached accessory building or attached non-living space is permitted, but no construction of new detached ADU or additions unless no other way of creating ADU is feasible on the subject property. So again, this is a Long Beach rule. It could be different between other cities, so always verify. But what they're saying is R3 and R4 has different rules than R1 and R2. So on an R2, they're going to make you go inside of non-livable space before they're going to let you build from the ground up. Okay. But if there is, and that's only if there's no other option to do so. Okay. So very important to know that specifically about Long Beach. Again, always check with your local city of whatever city you're trying to build in. Here's a Long Beach ADU guide continued. Again, this is specifically for multifamily. So you can see the setbacks for your side and rear. Again, I'm not going to go through all of them just because it would take a while, but this is pretty standard. Most setbacks are 4 feet from your side and rear and 10 feet from your existing structure. Some cities have moved that down to 6 feet from your existing structure. But again, this is just to show you as a reference. Front yard, very important. Most don't let you do the front yard. Again, you can kind of look at the rules here and what that consists of, but very rare that they let you go in the front unless there is enough space. And then height limits, you can see your height limits here. Multifamily ADU parking rules. So really important, parking required, both SFD, duplex, and MFD ADUs. So parking required for ADUs and junior ADUs. So one parking stall required per ADU unless any of the following are met. Number one is the ADU is located within a half-mile walking distance of public transit. That pretty much applies anywhere in this metropolis of LA, Orange County. So that is a big plus for not requiring parking. Number two is the ADU unit is located within an architecturally or historic significant district. Again, that could possibly be the case, but there's only a certain amount of those zones per city. Number three is the ADU is part of the proposed or existing primary residence or an accessory structure. Number four is when on-street parking permits are required but not offered to the occupant of the ADU. And then five, when there's a car share vehicle located within one block of the ADU. So I think just by going through this, number one is pretty much going to apply to majority of LA and Orange County. That's kind of where we work. Conversion of existing garage and carport area to ADUs and junior ADUs, no parking is required. So if you do take away a parking garage or carport, there's absolutely no parking required, which is great. Coastal zone, be very careful. Parking for an ADU within the coastal zone is encouraged and may be required in order to comply with the local coastal program and required findings. So always check if you're within that coastal zone, it could be different. And then primary dwellings, existing parking stalls, garage, carport are open. For primary dwellings must be maintained unless the stalls are converted into an ADU. So again, pretty self-explanatory. If you take garages away to build housing ADU units, there's absolutely no parking requirement at all. Average cost, I always emphasize it's always changing. It's not set in stone. We don't have a set price per square foot for construction. All these jobs vary, so it really depends. And just because I'm telling you an average does not mean that that's what yours is going to cost. Hopefully it gives you kind of an idea. But again, costs vary between jobs pretty much. So garage conversion, your typical 400 square foot garage, or like your standard two cars, somewhere between 320 and 400. You're looking at 125 to 135K plus or minus of that. So again, that's about an average once you're all said and done converting that space. A ground up ADU, let's call it 400 square feet, just for reference. You're looking at 140 to 155. Obviously, the more square footage you go up from there, the higher that's going to cost. And then above garage requires a lot of restructuring. So, if you have a situation where it's set up for that, that's going to be, 150, 165. This is more for single family, but it's just for you guys to have an example of what we're seeing out there. What to look for with costs. I know I've covered this before, but electrical, does that electrical come in from above or below? How far do we have to trench for that? Sewers, a huge thing. A lot of these multifamily properties have a long way to trench for sewer. So that's a very big cost. That could be costly. One more thing too with sewer, Depending on your sewer load and capacity, the city could possibly require a new sewer line out to the main, which could be, again, quite a big extra cost depending on your current sewer load for your multifamily building. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, if you're at capacity, let's say you have 16 units, you're going to add 2 more. We have to make sure that sewer line is going to withstand those 2 more units is pretty much what that is for. Okay. Raised foundation or slab, not so much for multifamily. A lot of these are, garages, or so I would say that's for more of a single family. Condition of surrounding area. So this is really important. Are we building an area that slopes down from where the sewer's at? Is there any standing water that we need to be aware of? Is there elevation, either way? This is all stuff we need to be observant at. Condition of garage. So again, if we're converting the garage, we want to see what type of condition that existing structure is in. We do restructure the inside, but obviously, if there's termite damage, fire damage, stuff like that, it's going to be a whole new ball game. Here's our inspection list. Again, hopefully it can help you guys identify, what would bring the cost up or down. This is something I use when I go on all properties and do site inspections. So, excuse me. Property wall setback. So how far is the property wall setback to the proposed ADU? Primary dwelling setback, or in this case, if it's multifamily, how far is that setback to the detached garage or proposed ADU unit? Driveway condition, we want to note the condition of the driveway or area that we're going to trench in. Surrounding conditions of the ground or material surrounding ground. So again, we're looking at elevations, we're looking at standing water, we're looking at what type of materials are around, trees, shrubs, grass, everything. We're just making notes. And then roof, what if we're doing a detached garage or a garage that we're converting, what type of condition is that roof in? Inside structure garage, again, we need to note if there's any serious termite, fire damage, stuff like that. Slab, how's the floor anchored to the garage wall? Make note of the condition of the slab. Dimensions, we always want to measure dimensions of the backyard or garages. Sewer distance to primary residence or foundation type. So again, sewer is going to be a big cost. We want to see how far we're going to trench for that. And then electrical, determine the location of the panel. Does that come in above or below? Where is that at? How far do we have to trench? And then obviously size of the garage or open area. Okay, so pretty self-explanatory, but hopefully that gives you kind of an idea of what to look for. Steps with building. So, let's say you're an operator for a multifamily building or an agent that's helping, somebody kind of analyze this. First thing we do is hop on the phone. Just like buying a property, we make sure people either have proof of funds or a pre-approval letter before ever coming out and giving an actual real estimate. Once we do that, we'll go to the site inspection. Usually takes about 40 minutes to an hour. I'd say about 40 minutes. We take pictures, notes, measurements. Then from that point, if you guys decide to move forward, what we do is we'll start the pre-construction phase, which is doing the design work as well as the engineering. I'll talk about timeline on the next slide. But once we get full approval from the city, we're allowed to start construction, which is the first phase. And then once it's all built, ready to rent out, you guys start collecting rent, okay? Timeline, again, this is just like the cost that varies between job and kind of varies between what we're building, but just an average number. Garage conversion is about 10 to 12 months. Pre-construction is about 4 plus or minus months. Construction is about 7. And then garage conversion, or excuse me, ground up construction, you're probably looking at 12 to 14 months, 4 to 5 months plus or minus in the city. And then construction is about 8 plus or minus months. Okay. Basic floor plan. So this is pretty standard for, your standard garage bay or standard size for garages for multifamily. So again, it's just an idea to show you. I have some examples of some real ones below on the next, few slides that we're going to go through. Here's one. So here's one in Long Beach. This is actually 16 unit, as you can see here from the statistics. Building 1, which is right here, has 4 units, and then building 2 actually has 12. So here the owner decided he did want to keep some garages over there. There was 3 garage spaces right here, as you can see from the plot plan. This is the area where we are building the ADUs. We're doing two 1-bedroom ADUs back to back. You can see the floor plan right here. So this one, we're just starting construction. You can imagine how much value this is going to bring up once they actually get the tenants in there and the rent roll. Not only is their cash flow going to go up, but the whole value, overall value of the property will go up as well. Another one in Long Beach, another multifamily. This is actually consists of 2 units, 2 units existing currently. And then we're building one big ADU. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It's going to be over 800, you can see right here, 873 square feet out of 4 garage spaces. So City of Long Beach is allowing us to take all 4 garage spaces away to accommodate building this 2-bedroom, 2-bath unit. Again, these are projects we're just starting right now as far as construction. We've already passed through the city. But this is current examples of what we're doing with some multifamily stuff right now. Here's a walkthrough. So, it's a standard, if you were to do a standard garage conversion, or let's say build from the ground up, this is the type of quality or just type of unit that we're designing and building. So you can see it's a brand new unit, shaker cabinets. We got nice vinyl floors in there, quartz countertop. Oops, sorry, I accidentally restarted the video. But you can see the actual quality of this unit, right? And that's the main point, is to show you that what we build is definitely, market rent, if not, slightly nicer. But you can see here, this has all the amenities that someone needs, including a stackable washer and dryer. You got your full kitchen, you got a bathroom. Right here, you can see that's where the stackable washer and dryer go. Tiling in the shower. There's your fridge to the left. We built in cabinets there. But yeah, you can see it's a really nice, recessed lighting, but really, really nice unit that we built. Next page is financing options. So this is a big question we get. I'll just go through some of the main ones that we see. Obviously the rates went up, so people are starting to try to look for a little bit different financing options that are possibly available. But for the most part, what we've seen is cash out refinance, HELOC, which is common. Certain renovation loans are available. I'm not too familiar on rates, current rates, and how those break down, but you can get some. Second mortgage is huge right now, just because from what I understand, they only pull the amount out of the job. So obviously with the rates being a little bit higher right now, people don't want to refinance their entire property. So they're just putting out a second mortgage. But that's pretty much it. Again, I just wanted to provide as much information as possible for you guys, so you can kind of make a decision if you're looking at multifamily, or possibly have a building that you want to know that if you can do this stuff. But again, if you want to save my number, here's my cell. That's actually my email, and then here's all our social media and everything as far as following us. So we hope to put more videos out. If you guys have any comments for what you want to see next, just feel free to comment below. But don't forget to subscribe and like, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.